Alright, I'll give you guys a quick little update of what I'm up to this weekend. So, set all this shit on the tailgate. Alright. Stay. Alright, so I've been going through, I've been trying to pull all the old fuel lines and oil lines out, which I've got here in this little bucket. All the dash 6 fuel lines. I think I got a couple of dash 8 oil lines in here. Yeah, those old lines, still got a couple to pull out. I got line going to the Afterburner. I got a oil return line from the turbo, and I've been going in and I've started running some of the hard line for the fuel and oil to replace it, as I will show you here. So I got some of the fuel lines already bent, fuel pump. So let's see, where do I start? This little line here, it's gonna get fished under all this bullshit, and this is gonna go from the bottom of the fuel tank, gonna come up and feed the fuel pump, and then goes through the pump into this guy, goes all the way over where I'm going to have the control valve, goes back to the return all the way over here, goes back into the tank. The only thing I have to do is find a place to cut it and put in T-fitting, comes up to the fuel nozzle. So that's in the works. Today I was working on some of the oil lines since I got my 1/2-inch bender today, so I got busy on those. I left them kind of long because these are those ends there, they're going to go all the way up to the oil cooler, and they snake their way around the frame and whatnot. But I left myself some extra because there's a little bit of uncertainty of where the new oil tanks are gonna go. I've got that great big piece of aluminum pipe. I was gonna fabricate a very similar oil tank to the one that was already in here. It's like a 3-inch by however long that I need it. But if I put the tank up in there, then the tank's going to be a little bit smaller than the original, and I'd like to have a little bit more oil capacity. So if I put the oil tank back here, I could actually have like that whole 24-inch long tube, which gives me about a gallon of oil. Problem is its proximity to the heat from the Afterburner, so I've been hesitant about putting the tank back here. Then I had the idea maybe I could use one of the fuel tanks that came with the go-kart. Maybe I could, I was hoping I could maybe squeeze that bad boy in there, but it won't fit with the axle there and, stuff. So this is going to have to take the back seat yet again. I've got two smaller tanks. I think they're actually washer fluid reservoirs for like a car custom universal application. I think each tank is about 2.5 quarts. So I got 2 of them, and I'm gonna see if I can squeeze them back in there. Of course, these hoses will all be out of the way, and this guy will be out of here. So I might have room as I fall off the tailgate here. I might have room for that in there. We'll see. They come in tomorrow. I'll play around with them. Meanwhile, I only got 2 of the fittings for the fuel lines delivered today. Basically, I'll kind of demonstrate how these little guys work. Very simple. basically, these little guys have like this little ferrule inside of them. You'll slide these guys on to the tube like that. And this little guy, I did it wrong already. It's kind of hard to do two hands. There we go. Always use your handy dandy foot to hold stuff. This guy goes on first. Like that. Then this goes on this way. Hold that there. And this little guy back up. And what you will do is you'll take your flaring tool. You'll put I think it's a 37-degree flare on this end, and then this will come down, sit on that flare. And then when the flare's done, you can bring your threaded collar down, and it'll look kind of like that when it's done. And this will adapt to like a male AN fitting, which I don't have readily available to demonstrate. Or do I? I don't. Okay. So, I mean, basically, there you go. It's your female AN fitting. Actually, boom, right here. It'll fit right on there, just like so. Anyway, they only delivered 2 of them, so what I might do is I might just finish this little section of fuel line that I've already started. I gotta deburr that little guy, and I gotta deburr that end, and I'll just put these guys on, flare those, and I should be able to wrap that up. That'll be done. The rest of the fittings I think come in tomorrow, and I think those oil tanks will show up tomorrow. Also got the nozzle welded to the Afterburner, and I had to trim this back a little bit. I asked Rocket Man Robert Maddox if he could make this a little bit longer for me. It gives me the option. I can trim it back where I need it, in case he wasn't able to precisely make it or fabricate it the way I needed it. But anyway, I trimmed this back a little bit. This is probably my minimum diameter for this turbo. You want little to no back pressure going on inside of here. More back pressure increases turbine temperatures, not good. But we also want the maximum amount of thrust by nozzling this down. So when I finish this mess, we'll get her fired up and we'll see what our exhaust gas temperatures are. We'll try to run it up to full throttle, and it'd be nice if we can get the Afterburner lit and see what kind of temperatures we get. This might actually, wouldn't surprise me if this has to be trimmed down even more, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.